Molly ambled through the bustling Sunday farmers' market in Olney Market Square, her thoughts swirling in a haze of half-consciousness. It had been an arduous week of final criminology exams, her mind brimming with theories and case studies. Today she felt oddly adrift, as though she were walking through the blurred lines of a waking dream. The air was a medley of scents, the comforting aroma of freshly baked sourdough, the earthy fragrance of just harvested vegetables, and the subtle sweetness of seasonal fruits. Amidst the crowds and clamour of the farmers' market, Molly noticed large brass bells hovering beside certain people as though suspended by invisible strings. Puzzled and intrigued, she spotted her friend Selma, who was deeply engrossed in assessing the merits of organic asparagus. "Selma, do you notice anything strange about some of the people here? Do you see those bells?" Molly whispered. Selma gave her a puzzled look. "Bells? Are you all right, Moll?" The conversation was brief but revealing. Molly realised that she was the only one privy to this enigma. She moved on, listening keenly. Amidst the chatter of vendors and the laughter of families, she heard a faint chime resonating from each floating bell. Molly's criminology training had honed her power of observation to an almost supernatural level. Each person carrying a bell caught her discerning eye. A pattern emerged. The bearers were mostly middle-aged or older, each walking like the brass weight was not there. With the skill of a detective, she deduced that these bells were not a random phenomenon, but were totems of an invisible struggle, a fear these people had, the fear of aging. Soon after, Molly found herself at Brian's Belts, run by Margaret, a woman well past her prime, but bursting with an energy that seemed to defy her years. Wrinkled but radiant, Margaret was a crafter of leather and stories. "Each wrinkle is a chapter, each grey hair a footnote," she'd tell her customers. Molly couldn't help but notice the absence of a bell beside Margaret. This absence spoke volumes, louder than any chime. Margaret had embraced each wrinkle and grey hair as a memento of a life lived fully, a woman who had made peace with time. Inspired, Molly approached a man who moved as if shackled by the gravity of his invisible bell. She introduced herself and carefully steered the conversation towards the beauty of memories, achievements, and lessons that come with a journey through time. And as they spoke, the man's bell began to fade, its sombre chime dissolving into a softer, more harmonious tone until it vanished altogether. A sense of fulfillment washed over her. She had helped this stranger shed the invisible weight that had burdened him. And then she heard the distant chime of a real church bell echoing across the square. It was as if the universe were winking at her, wrapping her in a complex emotional fabric that was neither pure joy nor absolute sorrow, but something richer, more nuanced. As she walked away from the market, Molly made a quiet vow. Given the opportunity, she would continue to lift people, to help them free themselves from the invisible bells that weighed them down. Aging would not be a curse, but a privilege, a lifelong composition of moments that formed a beautiful, complex harmony. For Molly, the distant church bell became a punctuation in the run-on sentence of life, a reminder that each moment, whether cumbersome or liberating, contributes to a tale only we can tell. And in that subtle, indescribable interplay of emotions and realizations, she found a harmonious blend of life's raw truths that defied simplistic explanations but clung to her long after the final bell had rung.